And I think Dara's example is exactly the one that I would use because it's like I learned a lot of this shit from weight training. Like there are weeks in a training cycle where going to the gym 5 days a week and hitting it really hard or going to the field and hitting it really hard will work. But if you try and do that for like 2 days beyond when that's legit, you will end up on your ass because what is required then is for you to like back way the fuck off
Mhm.
and let everything that you just did play out in your system. And I don't see magic as different than that. And I don't see spiritual practice as different than that. And the thing that I think that I see missing a lot is just the space to say, cool, you did the thing, let it go.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to show on the kind of timelines we think it does,
Mhm.
which is why I bring up that black book thing, because that's something I realized a long time ago that there were specific things I asked for that came 5 years later, 7 years later, 10 years later, and they dropped in my lap with no question, like, here, because that's just how much shit had to change for everything to line up for that to occur and for me to be able to accept it.
Mhm.
Um, and if we're constantly pushing, it's just, it's Mark Rifkin used to call it, he was a power lifter at the time, and he referred to it as tough guy periodization, which is you just push and push until you break, and then all the adaptations happen while you're recovering from the soldier's shoulder surgery or whatever, the pulled hamstring. Or you can kind of fit in those and go, okay, there's a time to push and there's a time to back off.
Mhm.
And those rest times might be longer than you want. And the result frame from particularly magical stuff may be way longer than what you want. And I think that I think we just have to be aware of it and realize that, like, you can't, I can pour 14 ounces of water in there and no more goes in.
Mhm.
It just makes a fucking mess of everything if I keep pouring it in.
Mhm.
And that's what I see a lot of people uh, in their practices doing is they're just pouring more and more in. It's like, bro, let it ease up.